Screen pass to number 1, Jamar Celestine with a consistent move for the Warriors. Phillips with a ball completed pass to number 1, Jamar Celestine for the Warriors. Touchdown. Pass complete to Jamar Celestine for the Warriors. Touchdown.
How exciting was it for you to get your first offer as an 8th grader from UL Lafayette?
Well, it was very exciting for me to get my first offer as an 8th grader. It was like big for my family, big for me, and like where I'm trying to go in life.
Great deal. So tell us how it happened. You know, you were at school one day and then, UL coaches were visiting Houma Christian, and how did it go about?
Well, I was in school one day and it was when they pulled me out of class and he offered me. And I remember being excited. I was jumping up and down. And then I called my mom, and she was also very excited.
So tell us, what was the reasons why that they decided to offer you as an 8th grader?
They decided to offer me because they liked my burst off the line, my speed, and my route running ability.
And what positions you play for Houma Christian?
I play wide receiver and DB.
What did they offer you for? What position?
Wide receiver.
So tell us about receiver. What makes receiver so important for you? Why do you like playing receiver? And what's some things you want to bring to a college team one day as a receiver, maybe?
I really like playing wide receiver because it's like the position that I grew up on. Like my brother, his name is Caden. He played wide receiver. And I also just like watching wide receivers on routes, so like catching the ball and all that. And yeah.
Honestly, did you ever expect as an 8th grader to get a college offer? Usually, like your dad told me, it's juniors, seniors in high school. But you're an 8th grader. Did you ever dream and vision that, this one of your goals growing up, to get an offer this soon?
Yes, sir. It was one of my goals to get an offer as soon as possible. But it's still like very exciting and like not real at the time when I got my first offer.
Not everybody gets one this early. So what did you do to make you stand out? Obviously you may have done camps, I know you had to perform well in class, on the field. What's some things in your opinion contributed to you getting this?
Well, the first thing that I did, I prayed every single night for an offer or for a chance. And then the second thing, I took care of my grades and all. And I went camping, I went to Boston, I went to Dallas, I went to Miami. I went all over just to get a chance. And I also work out often with my little brother. We go in the backyard, we run routes, we do cone drills, ladder drills, and parachute, all things of that nature.
Great. Yeah, you also, like you say, you play defense too, right?
Yes, sir.
Cornerback?
Yes, sir.
So talk about, I know you talked about receiver. What stands out about you as a cornerback?
At corner, I have good ball skills, and since I play receiver, it helps me know what a person is running the route. Like if I see him running if I'm an inside leverage and he's running 10 to 12 yards up the field, then I know that it's either going to be a post or a go route, or it can be a comeback. Those are the type of things it helps me playing from wide receiver to DB.
You're a coach's son, right? You've been around the game all your life, right?
Yes, sir.
How does that help, knowing that your dad is a good athlete? He was a good athlete. Now he's a coach. He's been coaching great athletes. How does that help?
It helps me because, I know that I can trust him because he sent multiple people to college and 2 people to the NFL.
Does it inspire you to follow in his footsteps?
Yes, sir. It does inspire me to follow in his footsteps.
How?
Because it inspires me because I want to be at the same level as some of the people that he's taught before. And if they were able to do it, then I should be able to do the same thing.
So I know you said your mom was excited, but when your dad told you, what was his reaction?
He kind of he was smiling, but he didn't show too much expression until later. Then he started jumping up and down with me after we got into the car or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a moment that you'll never forget, right?
Yes, sir.
So now that you got the first offer, what's next? You probably want to get more, or
Yes,
are you inspired to want to even blow up a lot more? What's next for you?
I'm going to continue working. I'm going to go around camping. I'll make sure I could get faster. I could get bigger, stronger. I could work on everything catching. I could work on a lot more things and just being ready to receive the next one.
So you go to Houma Christian. That's a small school.
Yes, sir.
Don't get a lot of attention or exposure. Does that make it even more special knowing that, you're representing Houma Christian and, it's not like a bigger school well known for football? You helping put Houma Christian on the map here, so does that make it all more special for you?
Yes, sir. It makes it feel special because it's now people are going to start looking at our school more, and not just for me, just for all the athletes that we have, because we do have athletes here at Houma Christian.
Yeah, so you're going to have a lot of attention now from this. Are you ready to live up the hype with being an 8th grader with a Division I offer now?
Yes, sir, I am.
So what's your goals? What do you want to accomplish? I know it's football season is maybe later, but I know you're in basketball season. You got probably track coming up. But what's your, just talk about, first of all, focusing on football season. What do you want to accomplish this year, upcoming season?
I want to just improve on everything. I want to see a growth in height. I want to see a growth in speed, stats, numbers, more receiving yards, and all things like that.
Yeah. You also play basketball.
Yes,
so how's that going for you?
Basketball is going pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's 11-2 or 13-2, one of those. We just won a tournament championship.
You do track too?
Yes, sir.
All right, so how big is that for a receiver, cornerback to, get out there and lead your team versus sprint teams or the relay teams, and what's some of your goals for track season?
I just want to improve on my speed. Track is really is going to help me in football because if I have explosion in track and I could keep on practicing running, it can help me in football with route running, getting off the line, and things like that.
So let's fast forward 4 years from now. Have you ever had a dream school or a dream college you wanted to play for?
The only dream college I have is the one that's going to use me, the one that I fit in the offense. I want to play as soon as as a freshman.
Mm-hmm. So you have goals of where you want to go, right?
Yes, sir.
You already know, what's it gonna, at the end of the day, maybe 4 or 5 years from now, when you get ready to make that final decision where you're gonna play, you're gonna know how to make it, right? You're gonna know what you're looking for, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know right now what you're really gonna be looking for?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna look for playing style. Since I play receiver, I'm gonna look for a college that throws the ball a lot instead of run the ball. And since I play receiver, I want to look for a team that would be a good somatic fit for the way I play and my play style.
Academically, I know you got to make the good grades in class to have this, right?
Yes, sir.
So I know you're doing a good job at Houma Christian, right?
Yes, sir. I made A Honor the first 2 9 weeks, and right now I have all A's and B's in my classes.
Right there. Do you know what you want to major in one day?
I really like to be a lawyer. I would want to be a lawyer if football didn't work out, because I like to argue with people just a little bit and like discuss things about topics and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the main thing is you respect the education side, you know. Even like you say, if football doesn't work out, or maybe 30 years from now, after a long NFL career, you're gonna to have something right to fall back on. So you got to plan academically what you want to do. Right?
Yes, sir.
Great deal, man. Anyone you want to thank for giving you this opportunity?
I would like to thank God, my dad, and my God, dad, and my mom and my grandma.
I know they're happy and they're proud, huh?
Yes, sir. And if my grandfather is here, he'll be just as proud.
Yeah, so anything else you'd like to add about this opportunity? I know it's just getting started for you. I know you got a lot of emotions, but, you know, I just know that you're just going to try to keep growing from this, right?
Yes, sir. And the one thing I would like to add is that to college coaches is that I'm ready. I can compete with anybody, and I'm not backing down from no competition.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, you're sitting next to your son here. Your name, you know, you're senior, junior.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's your name. But how special was it for you and him to get the news that he had his first offer from UL Lafayette?
Very special. Just when the coach, like I said, he looked at the videos and he watched his camp footage, and once he told me that he wanted to extend the offer, it was a surreal moment. Like, you know, as a father, you know, you dream of these moments, but as his coach, it's like he's an 8th grader. But later on, I was able to enjoy it more when we got with our family members, more than just in that moment.
Like you say, just a normal day at Houma Christian. Coaches stop by to come talk to a couple of players and quickly run down how that went about, you know, the offer and telling him and the excitement.
Yeah, so obviously I reach out to coaches all the time. Like, I'm trying to promote our school. We're a small school, so you don't get a lot of coverage. So I reach out to Coach. But Coach Mike has been a guy that has stopped by before. So obviously reached out to him again. He let me know he was going to be in town. And I was just walking him around with different players. Like, he was talking to some of our upperclassmen, and just trying to get a feel for them, like what they've been doing in the off season, as far as camping, how have they been working out, what they're looking forward to, and he wanted to tell us about some of his camps. The last thing that I expected, obviously, was for my 8th grade son to get any notoriety, because he's only an 8th grader. But the camp film actually impressed the coach, and he was impressed by it. And he said, Coach, just the way that he run his route, the speed, the acceleration, how he stops in and out of cuts, it was real impressive, and he extended the offer. So obviously, as the dad, I'm like, wow. And then as the coach, I'm shocked, because most times it don't happen for 8th graders. It usually happens 10th grade, 11th grade year, and some seniors. So it was a surreal moment, but it's a blessed moment.
Especially for you, like you say, you know, you're a former athlete, you know, you're a coach now. You've been in his shoes once a long time ago. He's following in your footsteps. So like you say, from a father perspective and as a coach, it has a little bit more special things, you know, because that's your son.
Absolutely. But I'm going to just say it on camera. He's a much more polished and better athlete than I ever was. He's self-motivated. And a lot of times people think about athletes like parents and coaches and their kids. Like, I don't have to tell him to go work out. I don't have to tell him to go look up film or study film. I don't have to tell him to do the little things. And you know, as his dad, I get to live with him and see it every day. Like, I'm in the house and I might be watching Sports Center, and he'll say, hey, Dad, me and my brother's going to the field to work out. So those type of things there, it just strikes like excitement in me, because I know he wants it better than I want it for him. And just a funny story, that he couldn't even do a jumping jack until he was about 11 years old. He wasn't interested in sports at all. But once he dialed into a sport, like he loves football, he's been all in. And so that's the thing that's refreshing, that he gets the opportunity based off his hard work and his dedication, and it's not driven by me as his coach.
And it doesn't stop here. You know, he just got his first, and I'm guessing both of y'all don't want it to be the last. So he's going to have to keep working. And if that's his goal, you know, you probably don't want to get satisfied right now, right? You want to keep driving and working, right? So in your opinion, what's next? What do y'all want to come?
The first conversation I had with him before, like I celebrated with him because you want to celebrate that special moment as a father. But then the coach part kicked in and I sat him down at the table and I talked to him and I explained to him, now the work ethic that you've been putting in, now you got to go into overdrive. Like, and I'm not talking about just working yourself to the point where you're injuring yourself, but you have to work on the particulars, the little things, because you're going to be going to camps. We already know that the circuit is real. When you get on the camp circuits, people are going to be calling you out now because they hear this 8th grader has an offer. They're going to want to see what you can do. They're going to want to test you. They're going to want to put your hands on you because you're small. So those things, now he has to focus on the little things to get better. But I have no doubt, like, his work ethic is one of one. I've saw some kids like that before in my past, and he gives me chills when I think about the kids that I coached in the past that's successful, and I know that's doing it on a high level because I see some of the same things in him. So I know he's humble, he's unselfish, so I just want him to continue to trust God first. And the work part is going to happen because he works hard, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds.
And like you said, I know a lot of father-son relationships who happen to be involved in sports get complicated. But like you say, it was his decision to want to follow in your footsteps, and you, wanted to help him along the way. So, it's a very positive thing with the Celestines. Huh?
Yes, sir. And that's the thing. He knows, like, from the home standpoint, if it's a decision between him and another kid and the talent level is here, I'm going with the other kid because he knows what position I'm in. A lot of people will throw out the daddy ball title, right? They use that on social media all the time. But I'm big on looking out for all kids and not just my kids. So he knows his work ethic got to be here, and he has to separate himself from competition. But we're unselfish. Like, he doesn't want just him to get notoriety. The first thing he says is it's going to help Houma Christian. So we want to build the brand. Obviously, I have the brand on. He has the brand on. But we want to build the brand to let people know you can send your kids to Houma Christian. And with hard work and dedication, this is an opportunity that they can earn. So everything is going to be earned. We have that thing in our family that we talk about earning everything and not looking for handouts. So long as he keeps that mindset and trusts the process of what he needs to do to go forward, he'll be successful.
With that said, football season is going to be it before you know it. I know he's doing basketball right now, and you're his coach for that and everything. But football season, this is what the offer came in. So what's the goals? What do you want to see him accomplish on a football field? I know at Houma Christian, he's forced to play multiple positions because of size, the roster and everything. But freshman year next year, so what's it going to be?
So we didn't have any intention of him playing varsity football this past year. But obviously my offensive coordinator, Marcus Jones, saw something in him at practice. Obviously on Tuesday, we do Warrior Day on Tuesday where they go one-on-ones. So he got an opportunity to go one-on-ones against upperclassmen. And he separated himself and earned playing time on a varsity level. No father wants their kid to be playing on a varsity level against 17, 18-year-olds after they had a chance for their body to develop. But to my surprise, he answered the call. Like he made some big plays for us, and he stood up to the competition, and he looked like he belonged out there. So going into this freshman year, now I can take the training wheels off. Now I get to give him to the coaching staff, and however they see fit for as my offensive staff to use him, I'm okay with it. I just think he has to get bigger. He has to get stronger. He has to continue to work on his speed. And those things, he can't take days off by doing that. So if he does the little things, I have no doubt that he'll have a successful freshman year.
Yeah, well, that's your pop sitting right there, man. How does it make you feel to hear him say all those great things about you?
It feels really good that he sees all those things in me. He sees the potential in me. He thinks that I can make it far and do great things once I get older or even now next year. Feels good.
Anything you want to tell your dad, from all the help that he's given you over the year?
I want to tell my dad thank you for all the things all the sacrifices that he's done by bringing me all over the camps, all over the U.S., Boston, and all those places like that to help me get notoriety by staying after practice, tell me to work on my craft, all the little things that I could do right and be better at.
Congratulations to you guys.
Appreciate you.